most of this week.
Yeah, last week was fun, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I ended up drinking 4 liters of water after the show.
Something.
I never drank 4 liters of water in my life.
You went thirsty, little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Thursday night, 5:30. Welcome to Bell Season.
There's Barb. There's Gladys.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Gladys. Nice to see you guys here. Yeah. Hi.
It's been a weekend.
It's been a week. Another one. It's awesome. Beer. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, Steven.
Oh, well, we're not going to make it to the bathroom.
Oh, man, that's good. Okay.
That is a delicious glass of beer, even if it's an apricot beer.
I love fruit beer.
I do. If it's done like this, it's excellent. Saint Ambrose makes a great apricot beer too. I love that too. But that's quite delicious.
It's very delicious. So it's from a new brewery here in Langley. Tonight, we are partnering again with our friends at Tourism Langley because, like us, they are passionate about all things local. And so we are featuring a whole bunch of local ingredients tonight, which is super exciting and super cool. So one of the ingredients that we're cooking with is this beer. So I popped up to the newest brewery in Langley. It's called Smuggler's Trail. It's at the top of 200th Street, just before you get to the Golden Ears Bridge. And it's a bistro and a brewery. It's a really beautiful space. I haven't eaten there yet. I haven't had a chance, but it's on my list. But I did pop into the tasting room, and I tried a couple of the beers that they have on tap. And they sell beers in cans, or you can obviously fill a growler.
That's such a cute growler.
It's adorable.
That is the tiniest one out of this.
32 ounces. It's perfect.
It's a vegan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a growler or a grunt?
It's a growler. No, I don't know. No, it's a growler. They called it a growler, at least. I don't know. Anyhow, so they make a whole bunch of beer up there. I tried the Ghost, which is a sour style beer. It was very good. They had some IPAs and some porters. Anyhow, it's called Smuggler's Trail, right at the top of 200th Street. And this is their apricot ale.
It's incredible how this coolest thing happened in the last 7 to 8 years.
Yeah,
The
craft beer.
whole craft beer exploded Portland first, and just couldn't get enough of it. It's delicious. Imagine it's also nice to go out for a glass of beer. It's not your regular pub routine, you know. It's just you just go and seek these companies and find their. But I have a few favorites. I love. This is delicious. I'll be back in the beer business. Four Winds. I love. Strange Truffles. Superflux. Excellent beers.
Four Winds is a favorite, and their Saison is one of my favorite beers. I stopped in the other night after work for a beer over at Five Roads here in Langley, and I had a lager, and their beer is solid. We have some great breweries here in Langley. Trading Post is here in Langley. They've got their tasting room, which is basically across the street from my store here. They've got their and they have the
end up at the pub every day.
They have the eatery in Fort Langley, and the food at the eatery is phenomenal. And then we have Camp Brewing over near Willowbrook Mall, and their beer's outstanding. And then, of course, we have one of BC's oldest craft breweries is Dead Frog, and they're right at the freeway entrance at 200th Street. And they've got a great tasting room. Food there is good. I've been tasting their popcorn, and they make this brewer's popcorn that's really delicious. And it's just this seasoned popcorn. There's
With natural yeast.
it is, yeah, and garlic and cheese, and anyhow, it's all kinds of delicious with a maple glass of cold beer. So that's where my friend Kimberly and I often hang out pre-COVID times. We would catch happy hour there at the end of the day, and it would occasionally turn into happy hours.
Pop culture changed in the West Coast. When I came here, it was just like a good old Canadian pop culture, like East Coast pop culture. Right now, we're a little bit more different. It's more food forward. It's more cocktail forward. It's more right. This in downtown.
Yeah.
But I don't find myself hanging out in the pubs anymore. It used to be a thing.
Yeah, that used to be the only choice, really.
Yeah. I mean, you would just go into a neighborhood pub in the afternoon, and the whole bar would be full with just like regulars, because that was a thing to do.
Yeah.
But that culture is gone now.
it still exists. I think, you know, there's a
Maybe I
couple,
tapped out.
yeah, there's a couple really good pubs where that still exists. The Highwayman Pub in Abbotsford is still that culture.
Yeah.
Quaale owns that, so I've been there a couple times. And the food is excellent, and it's just a really good old school pub.
I love a good afternoon at a pub.
Yeah,
You don't have to do
nachos.
anything for the evening, you know, you just pull the day off. You just sit there and, you know, waste your life away.
Yeah, some nachos, a few beer, maybe some clamato with your beer, if you're me. So tonight we're featuring all the, well, as many local ingredients as we can track down. So we're starting off with some goat cheese from our friends at Milner Farms. So Milner is just like literally around the corner from here. Excellent cheese. BC Buzz honey. We're featuring some honey from BC Buzz on 248th Street. Our bratwursts that Chef is cooking with tonight come from our friends at Benetti Meats.
I am excited.
Those are house-made brats from Carlo Benetti. We have some fresh local cranberries from Cranberries Naturally in Fort Langley. And Langley is one of Canada's biggest producers of cranberries for ocean spray, so that's super cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is super cool, actually.
Next fall, I'll have to take you out to the cranberry bog and you can see the harvest. It's super cool.
Can I bring my dog?
Yes. Louie would love it.
I'll come.
Louie would love it. So the pomegranate is obviously not local.
It is seasonal though. I gotta tell you, pomegranate season is November and few 2 months into the winter. But it is seasonal. I'm happy with that. And I picked up a great specimen. If you know me by now, from Istanbul. That's a very common food in Istanbul. So this is good. It's heavy for its weight. Sounds great. Yeah, I'm excited to cut it open to this. I'll show you how to clean up pomegranate rather than just do you know those people just take the whole thing and dump in the water and they just disseed the whole thing in water and you're washing the sweet juice of the fruit.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And the people who beat it with the stick and all the juice sprays everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't understand that method either. So the herbs and the beets are local, so you can still get tons of great hothouse veggies here, and veg are still available. Otter Co-op carries a good selection of local veg.
Squash season is almost done, but it's still the squash producer is quite variety now.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to go and buy a really awkward looking squash that you've never tried before. But they're like, some will be like literally 20 pounds on their own, 25 pounds. But some of the squash are incredibly delicious.
That beer is so good.
You're telling me?
We've had a really busy week here. We're cooking a lot of food right now. There's a lot of product coming through the store, lots of gift baskets. It's been very busy. So,
And fortunately also.
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
yes, thank you.
We're sorting through it.
Yeah, so we had a Zoom class this afternoon for a corporate client. So this is Jeff's second video class of the day.
So I'm warmed up. I am warmed up.
This is his first beer though, not his first class, but he's on his first beer. So
I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to drink when I work. I'm pretty sure that's in my contract.
you are. Yeah, you are. It's after 5. So David's gonna have a can of the Captain Stone Lager. I'm gonna keep working on this apricot growler. Do you want a refill before I take off?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. Yeah.
Because there might not be any left.
Yeah, just finish it off. Here, I'll take a
Well, I'm
sip.
not here alone. Nikki's here, and
That's working.
Mel's
Yeah,
here.
right.
you're working too. What are you talking about?
That's why I get it in my contract.
Have you met these jokers?
That's an important part of the job. You gotta be able to sip on beverages.
Yes.
I mean, I've done the very disciplined part of my career. Glad that's what we do.
Well, tomorrow's Friday, and Friday mornings in the month of December, there may or may not be some Bailey's in our coffee here. So everybody
Of course not.
starts the day off properly. So anyhow, you have work to do. I have beer to drink. You guys know the drill. If you have questions, type it into the comment bar. If you're curious about ingredients or substitutions, just ask. Chef would appreciate it if you gave him a hard time. He's almost clean shaven this week.
The porcupine is gone. Porcupine had to go. People started to just offer me change on the road, so I said, all right. do some landscaping.
All right.
I still have the head. I'm bald at this point. I don't want to show
He's
you.
avoiding going to the barber. He's truly avoiding going for a haircut.
I never liked it though. The whole barber routine is not my routine.
We could do an in-store haircut next Thursday.
A demo?
A
Have
demo.
one of our barbers come in
Yeah,
here.
somebody's got to have a Flowbee.
What is a floppy?
Like the vacuum cleaner that comes here.
We can. I'm pretty sure we can give you a haircut.
I have Michelle. Michelle owns everything. I've got Michelle.
I have a plugged-in shaver, and I just put it there. I might just wake up one day and just go for it. I used to shave my hair. My head is like super ugly. No, seriously. When I was
White guy head. I have the same.
the
Yeah.
flat one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my puppy has the same. He's Turkish, right? It's got the same. It's like we were born and somebody came in, just like flattened the whole thing.
Hellish Relish is for haircut Thursday. Yeah.
You might see me bald this week, but we'll see.
How many people can we get to commit if we do a haircut next Thursday?
To what?
To watching live.
Oh, live! There's too much hair. Not too much, but there is enough hair that
We can't cut hair in this kitchen.
Oh,
in Turkey you can. You know, and then he said, hey, there's hair in my food. They're like, well, you can't just, you know.
we just did a haircut.
Oh gosh, our chicken delivery's here. I've been waiting for this
Are you
supplier all
serious?
day. It's 6 o'clock. This is amazing. Okay, you get cooking. I'm gonna go deal with the
Razor
chicken
Wild
delivery.
Poultry.
Yeah, Fraser Valley Poultry is incredibly
Ruined my
busy right now, and normally they don't do deliveries at 6 p.m., but they've had a really busy day. So I'm gonna go deal with the chicken news, and you get cooking.
Sure, and I'll handle the beef. So, welcome to Thursday Night Live with Chef Deniz at One Season. Thank you for showing up. Again, it means a lot to us. Your support in the store, outside the store, as a community is getting getting us to go strong and enjoy this difficult season. We're talking all things local. I'm really excited. I haven't beat the people on how they cook sausages, so I'm going to settle that today. But that's the second course. First, we are going to start with a little beet salad. Now, beets are underrated, in my opinion. And some of you Elizabeth, truly hates beets. And I can see, because there's a very strong soil forward and an earthy aroma of a beet. But you have to understand, if you find a good sugar beet, it's an extremely delicious vegetable. It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable, and then it is sweet. It can have a lot of aroma and essence, and if you can find the right beet. That being said, that kind of beet is 3 and 10. The 7 is just like a nice little textural light beet essence. Beets are also very, very versatile. You can do a lot with them. Raw applications are okay with sugar beets, but cooked applications are a little bit better since it just shows that really, really soil smell of the raw beets. It's not a very ideal aroma, in my opinion. Some people like it. Do your thing. I'm gonna show you a little bit of beet salad. At this time of the year, it's one of my favorite things to eat. Obviously, we're gonna include some fresh cheese. Beets and white things like fresh cheese, yogurt, sour cream, creme fraiche are incredibly delicious. If you've never tried this before, I used to make this salad at home all the time. So I'm just going to show you my version of it, and there's kind of like a little Middle Eastern tweak to it too. So let's get started. One more sip of the beer. My beets have been bought from the store. And then I brought them in, I wrapped them in aluminum foil, and I put it in the oven for about an hour to hour and a half until it is somewhat kind of like dehydrated, condensed, and the substructure is actually nice and collapsed, meaning that it has a more condensed beet flavor than boiled beet. This is a great way of cooking beets if you've never tried it. And this beet salad is going to be warm, so I'm going to show you what I do further with these beets. I'm going to use a very little amount of oil, just for lubrication. What I really want is this hot surface of the pan, the actual metal, which can hold on to the greater temperatures of than an oil, which is going to give us a nice char on our meats. As soon as this misses, complaints. So that's that. While my pan is heating up, there's a fun application that I'd like to do. It's a very old school thing to do, and if you've ever worked in a hotels and this and that, it used to be a very popular item on event menus. Is goat cheese truffles. I like doing this because I think it's a very nice and a colorful way of just serving with cheese. It's a very light and a simple touch and a simple thing to do. But it's fun to eat the same cheese with different accents and colors and whatnot. And for that, what I'm doing is I grab some fresh goat cheese. There's no trick to it. You roll them into, I would say, 3/4 of an inch balls. Maybe half an inch is a better place to be. If your cheese is too crumbly to do this, well, obviously you can't do it. But just because of the variety, that would just do. Now, my cheese is ready. I got about 3 proportion is a good place to be. My pan is hot. Again, not a whole lot of oil in there, just to get the conversation started. I'm gonna put this in, and I'm going to turn my heat up to the max setting. Now, while all that is happening, and I'm not going to move my beets around too much. I want the hot metal surface to put a nice char on my beets. Just to dress up my little goat cheese truffles. I have paprika, poppy seeds, sumac, as well as fennel seeds. Now, you can use whatever you want. Anything goes, whatever is your favorite spices. I tend to pick on different colors of spices. So I have, like, fennel seeds are coarse, so I have some texture. Poppy seeds has a smaller texture and they're black. Paprika is nice and bright and red. Sumac is acidic and it's also purple. So there's no secret to that. To this, let's put 2 in fennel, 1 in poppy seed, 1 in paprika, 2 in sumac, because I love sumac. And then what you do is, as soon as they're in, you just roll them around.
What does sumac taste like?
Sumac it tastes acidic. The actual plant itself is potent.
Yeah, poison sumac. Yeah.
It tastes like lemon powder. It has a bright acidity. It's used in Middle Eastern cooking to add acidity to the dishes, which you will find in other cultures too, such as Mexican, Chinese spice, Iranian dried lime powder, dried mangoes in East Indian cuisine. Something that adds extra acidity to your dish without adding the extra moisture. And we use it a lot to sprinkle on flatbreads. I don't know. It goes on a lot of things. Flatbreads, kebabs, Purée salad, bean salad, and whatnot. It is one of the main spices of Turkish cuisine. Now, I don't know if you can see my pan, but I have this nice smoke coming out of it, meaning that there is caramelization. I'm going to toast this once or twice, and I'm going to return it and let it keep on charring without bothering it. I know the motion of this looks super cool when you see it from the professional cooks, but if you're putting a char on something, please put it down on high heat and don't touch it. Every time you lift up your pan, you will be cutting contact with your caramelization. Now, poppy seeds, these are great. Cracked coriander seeds is another great way to do this dish. What else? Porcini powder, incredible. Great accent. Unless there's a fennel boys here. Fennel is great, right? And these. Any questions yet, Angie?
No, not yet.
Oh man, are we losing the audience or what?
No, they're just fascinated, I guess, by
I think
your
they're-
charm and your stunning good looks.
Yeah, I get that a lot though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, I enjoy it while you have it. I'll be old in 2 months. I should have a haircut. Anyway, so my beets are still charring, and my pomegranate. Now, when we look at a pomegranate, there is that awkward mouth-looking piece on top, and then there's the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I am going to carve this out with an angle like this. Now, mind you though, I haven't done this in probably a few years. Let's see how it goes.
No pressure.
Let's see what happens.
So Gladys would like to know, to prepare the beets, you said place the beets in a foil pouch for an hour in the oven. Is that right?
Give or take, or until they are tender.
Did you put any oil or anything in with them?
No.
Just dried in a
Just
foil
dry
pouch.
as is. Actually, I'm just going to cut this.
Wow, that is super ripe, that pomegranate.
Yeah, I know how to pick a good pomegranate.
How?
I grew up in the promised
No,
land.
but what do you look for?
I grew up in the promised land.
Listen, when you see a good, what I look for is, I show up to the vegetable aisle or the fruit aisle, I look at every single one of them. Whoever is looking back and winking at me, those are the ones that I pick.
Oh.
Meaning that we all have an eye for good produce. What I'm looking at is darker color, weight for its, heavy for its size. And then, if you have a good nose, you should be able to smell the sweetness of the fruit from its outer shell or peel or whatever it is. It's a nice ripe fruit always smells incredible. Now, after I just cut the top, you will see segments, just like what you would see in an orange. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my knife through these segments. You know what? I'm going to grab a couple of gloves, so the rest of the night will be red. I used to do that. I used to clean a lot of beets, and I always had red hands. It was kind of actually embarrassing. As soon as you get onto the city bus, they're like, "Ooh, okay. What kind of hangover are you having?"
Does he look like a serial killer?
No. That being said, though, random 30 different people approach me, and if they ask me if I've ever killed anybody, that's one of the most awkward conversations. They're just random people, too. Anyway, so, and then I'm just going to run my knife through these segments all the way to the down. Okay. I'm not going all the way in. I'm just going maybe 1/4 inch in. Okay? Then I'm going to put this and I'm going to start to ease this. I'll show you this, how easy that is. Now, all of my sweet juice is there. Okay, remove these, and if you want to eat a pomegranate like a Turkish person, I'm not going to do that because it's going to explode on my face. You just grab this whole thing and you bite it all at once, so that you can get. It's not that oh, I had a seed there. Oh, I had a seed there. Well, it's fine. It explodes in your face. So that's one. And then what I do is I just literally just take a chunk of piece, and fluff the seeds up. Honestly, like tapping, washing, all that stuff is fine. But this way, you get to keep the goodness in the fruit, which is the whole purpose of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like vegetable shopping is not like what we do back in home.
Right.
Back in home, what we usually do is we don't read a recipe and go shopping for it. Or it might be like a seasonal thing, yeah, then we will go and find the best. But we normally go to the marketplace, you look around and see what's really, really good. And then you buy the good stuff. And then there is time-proven techniques that we use over and over again. We don't mess with food. Maybe they do have back then. They didn't. And we literally just Mother Nature did all the hard work for you. You have one job, is to not to mess it up. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so I have enough pieces that I have fluffed. So that's my garnish. Oh, there.
Is it good?
Ho, ho, ho.
Is it ever? Alright, so my beets, my herbs, sunflower seeds. Let's turn our beets back on. Now it is, I don't know why I turned it off. Now, I have a nice chart of my beets. We're dressing the salad with pomegranate seeds. So we're going to glaze our beets with pomegranate molasses. Do we sell pomegranate?
We sure do, Chef. We sell lots of it.
Come to well-seasoned Langley. This is $4.99. I don't know. It might be a bit more expensive. Price check. And it could replace the ricotta at your house very, very easily. It is super flavorsome. It's got a bright acidity to it, and it is just.
Have you ever used it in a cocktail? Oh, it's so good. In like a pomegranate martini with a little splash of fresh squeezed orange.
What else do you use it for? I wouldn't know how to use it.
Pomegranate molasses.
Yeah.
Drizzle it on everything. Or you can do this, just to glaze things. Now,
And this will make beets edible.
well, you're about to find out.
Okay.
So it's nice and shiny.
Or is it just going to taste like sweet dirt now?
Well, if you taste dirt, you'll still taste the dirt.
Taste dirt.
Our honey from
BC Buzz.
BC Buzz is going in for a glaze, for a little bit of sweetness, so it doesn't taste like the soil.
The pomegranate molasses is like intensely sour, so you have to kind of balance it a little
Sour
bit.
and somewhat sweet.
Yeah.
Little orange juice. Lemon juice. And at the end, we're going to grab our olive oil and turn this whole thing into a vinaigrette. And a nice glaze. Now, last but not least, pinch of salt. Just a small pinch. And my beets are looking like $1 million.
Still tastes like sweet dirt.
You're not helping, Charles. Get in the spirit.
All right, buddy.
You better get in the mood.
I have honestly, I can't wait to try them. I have tried beets. Angie can attest to this. I'm not afraid of them, but I just taste dirt.
Same. I have few people in my life that I know of that they share the same thing, and they're professional cooks.
Yeah, I
And
just
they would eat anything, but
I did try them smoked one time, which helped hide the earthiness a bit. But yeah, I haven't found one yet that I would order another. Maybe this is the one.
hey man,
Maybe not.
Just let it go.
And that it.
He's not happy.
Honestly, I would, but you have done some things that I want to try these. I'll give it one more shot. If these don't work, then yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it tastes like it should.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh, the big blade. That's good. Now, sorry, I had a mini moment there. And then I'm gonna take my goat cheese truffles, one here, one there, maybe one there, one there, one there, one there.
I mean, it looks excellent.
little bit of texture. Sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds and beets. You can use anything. You can skip the nuts part. Then I'm just gonna dress it with like really nice thick cut green onions. Because texture is very, very important. As well as let's take some of these pomegranate seeds we just cracked. And finish our dish. Don't be shy. Balance of flavor is for children. We could real thing. A lot of dishes. Awesome. Alright. Are we ready to down try some beets? What?
Yes. On my way.
Come get your black rock and beets.
Hey, there's PA.
So unlike David, I love beets.
She eats my portion of beets, so
I'm glad you guys settled that out.
Yep, so good. I like the pomegranate. I used to eat them a lot when I was a kid.
And you know, give it a shot.
But they turn out to be more of a trouble than they were, I think.
Why? What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
They're a lot of work.
Not the way I break it down.
Okay. That's really good. And the goat cheese. I like the goat cheese in this nice. I've never had that before.
Well, whatever you like is whatever it goes, right? But, so,
Usually I roll mine when I make the truffles with the goat cheese. I usually roll it crushed up pistachios. That would be nice in here too. The nuts with the beets and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
it's almost like having a little Middle Eastern barbecue sauce on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has that kind of effect.
Good job, Chef. Good job.
Thank you.
Gladys doesn't like beets either.
so tell Gladys.
She's right.
No, Gladys, these are some of the best beets I've had.
Yes, man. That's very kind of you to say such a thing.
That being said, though, beets are never going to be my favorite food.
If it's not working, it's not working.
It works with the goat cheese balls. It needs all of this. The beets by themselves, I'm sorry, I'm with Gladys. It's just not my thing. But there are so many other things that are, so that's okay.
Have you ever tried beer?
Here's a good thing.
Cooking with beer is hard though. Because one, you reduce it, you have the great residue and it thickens and it's luxurious and it's delicious. Beer, well, just evaporate. That's what beer does. But I'm going to show you how to cook sausages. And we're going to use David Spence's reverse sear technique today.
Oh, really?
And do you know why? So first things first, you have to understand what the sausage is. So these people kill the animal, grow it, kill it, hung it, broke it down, and turned this into this incredibly delicious piece of meat. Okay, the meat inside here has been mixed with a certain percentage of salt to activate its niacin, and then which is a natural glue, which gives it that snappy sausage bite. And then it's been put in there. Now, if you take this emulsified piece of meat, it kind of like it resembles of a sausage meat, that's what it is. And if you put it on very, very high heat, first thing what's going to happen is you're just going to first destroy the casing that's on it, which is not ideal because that casing is there to protect all the juice in the sausage. If you take this and slap it on a very hot barbecue, first you're going to destroy the casing. Right after that, you're going to start intensified cooking on a raw emulsified meat surface, meaning that you're going to destroy that structure. And at the end of the day, what you're going to end up is a grainy and a dry, or a mostly grainy piece of meat. But sausage is so forgiving that it wouldn't complain, it will still be delicious. But I'll show you the ultimate way of cooking sausages is to cook them If you're gonna do it on a barbecue, do it in indirect heat. So it like really very slowly cooks, and then you just put it onto the very hot part of the grill. Or start it in a pan, just like what I would do. Goes in my beer. Okay, I'm looking for about half an inch thick of liquid. Okay, my sausages all spooning each other, meaning I'm going to create a steaming environment for these sausages, so that we are going to steam it first, and then once the beer evaporates, they'll be 3/4 or 4/5 of the way done. And I'm going to introduce some butter to this liquid, and the butter fat will split, and then it will start to fry more sausages. And the difference that what it makes is if you coagulate the meat into a solid form before you put the color on it, then you can break the casing on high heat, because it wouldn't matter, because the bottom part would be incredibly nicely, what do you say? Very nicely steamed. So once the meat coagulates, you cannot destroy its emulsification. That is the intended way of eating a sausage. I know it sounds redundant, and everybody likes to do sounds, but you're literally destroying a very good product with extreme high heat. Now, so that's that. Our sausage is going. I have a little demi glass here. I have a piece of butter in it. Right? All the butter tonight. And I'm going to add the rest of my beer to my demi glass, so I have the actual flavor in there. Alcohol content is not very high with the beer, so you can just easily add it to your stock or your sauce. So that's that. That is going.
Glad you're back on your game tonight, Chef.
I've never left Angie.
Oh, you left. Last week was what do they say in French? Shit show?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, well,
Hey,
I just counted, I think we did like 28 episodes now.
Really?
So, just like life, when you start to relate to people on a regular basis, you see the not so rock star sides of it.
The good, the bad, and the ugly?
Yeah, shit happens, but
we should sell behind the scenes tickets.
Next year.
Yep.
I'm going to put a little bit of butter here. I would say a little bit of butter would be like 100 to 150 mils. Now this is also one of my favorite things to eat and make, and it's way more simpler than a mashed potato. All you need is a large yam. Just grab a dry large yam and put it on top of a baking utensil, whatever it is. Put it in the oven at 400 until it starts to spit its natural sugar and it is nice and soft, just like this. It is so sugary that some of the sugars is actually in the pan, and they're quite caramelized. Now there is a sticky hot sugar around the natural sugars that we have. Okay, so while you're handling this kind of hot substance, please pace yourselves and be very careful so you don't burn your hands. And I'll show you how easy that is. My butter is melting, my sauce is coming up to a boil. Let's do this. And I'm going to start to peel my beets. Yams. Actually. As you can see, how beautifully orange that is inside. This also dehydrates your yam, meaning that it can take more butter to do the job. So I'm going to get this yam into my food processor, sunspot, without any skin. Now, if you did this with a potato, just because it's starch content, it might go really, really gummy on you. You don't want that happening. Up with yams, we don't have that problem. And I think you can eat yams if you're a keto, right? Is that what it is?
They're acceptable.
They're acceptable. Okay. Now, that's that. My board is dirty. Let's give it a wet. Here's a pro move. When your board is dirty, instead of just going and washing it and losing 5 minutes, flip it upside down, unless you had meat on it.
Is that a pro tip?
That is a pro tip. Because I always washed it.
You don't want to do a loser lap in a professional kitchen.
A loser lap. I like that.
Meaning that,
Wasted. Nothing produced.
exactly. You go to the dish tip once and you get to pick up everything, drop everything, rather than go back and forth. That was one of the things that I was so confused when I was a junior cook, that senior cooks never move fast and they got everything done. And I worked like 100 miles an hour and I never got everything done. So that was it.
Loser lap.
People, don't waste motion. I'm going to get my butter in there. A little bit more. And to this, I'm going to put a splash of milk. Just a splash, just to make the whole thing creamy. You're more than welcome to use whipping cream, but with purees, I find milk makes it very, very light due to its light viscosity and less butter fat on cheese. Let's taste this. Depending on your yam, you might want to sweeten this with a little bit of a maple syrup. But my yam is so sweet, thanks to our Quaale, that it doesn't need it. Alright, so that's my sweet potato puree. See how easy that it is to cook. That's my sweet potato puree. Again, you might well give me for last week after this one. I'm going to get this old Cadillac out of my way. Now that is ready. My sausages are going full on, which my production is doing its thing. Come on, let's go. They're nicely steaming. She just picked up the pace. Again, and now we're going to have a very, very creamy and a nice rich dish. Thinking that sausage, fennel seeds, fennel, it's a very, very classical combo. So we're going to use that to our advantage. And we're going to finish our dish with a little bit of fennel salad. If you know me by now, and you do, I love these quick pickles that add acidity to your dish and a great, great freshness. Just get a mandolin. Be careful. Mandolin first.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, man! I should have totally distracted myself. And indeed, last week I actually cut myself too.
We both did.
Yeah. All right. Now, as you can see, the beer is almost evaporated, and from steaming, it went also almost like frying, which that is a good sign, meaning that my butter fat is splitting, and it's going to start to fry my sausages. And then this is where the magic starts to happen.
I I think sausages kind of get a bum rap. I mean, people think they're just cheap food, but I think there's some really great, well-made sausages that really deserve a lot of, more attention than they get.
Honestly, most sausages are well made. You know what's the problem with the equation is? You. They just like have a go at it. The sizzle, shrizzle, frizzle, whatever it is.
Shizzle.
But I don't know the head jargon, so anyway.
As Snoop would say.
Sure. Now also, I would like to see where my sausage temperature is, right? Let's see where we at. Good temperatures, good temperatures. I'm going to turn the second part, and you're going to see the caramelization on the sausage here. It's not very, very heavy. Nor it's supposed to be that way. Now, the beer steamed my sausage. It's done. Now the butter is turning into brown. Oh my, I don't have a beer.
Well, you have some right in front of you there, Chef.
Can I drink those?
Of course.
Really?
Not going to drink themselves.
Now, all that caramelization in the pan and all that, I would like to reserve all that. It just needs another minute of frying. So anyway, my fennel is in here. I'm going to put a pinch of salt. Just a small pinch of salt, just to break down just to break down the cell structure a little bit and make it a little bit more nice and slippery and luxurious. Again, pinch of lemon juice, squirt of olive oil, as well as a pinch of parsley. Alright. I think we're pretty in good shape. We're pretty good shape. Now, as you can see, my sausages has been started to fry. My casing is intact. Now, this sausage looks really, really expensive. It's almost just doing this, meaning that it's really pushing the meat out. But just because I had a good temperature control on my sausage, now it ended up in a great, great spot. Now, let's rest these sausages in here. My brown butter goes into my sauce. My pan goes down. I'm going to drop my cranberries into this pan. And you will want to rest your sausages at least, I would say, 5 minutes. Or at least half the cooking time. I would say 5 minutes is a great place to be. Let's deglaze our pan with our sauce in a beer. And lift up all those delicious, delicious beer. I haven't drank this yet. Nothing like a little bit of beer gravy. Right?
Beer gravy.
Everybody's so quiet today. Maybe I'm doing an okay job.
Smells delicious.
Is it though? It's
Yeah.
just like deep, the caramelized, buttery, all that jazz. Any questions?
No, Chef Rick joined us. Rick joined us tonight. So Chef Rick is an excellent home cook. He likes to cook on his barbecue, and I'm sure he has raised some brats in his day on his big green egg.
How do you like the big green egg?
loves it. He hasn't
Yeah.
answered yet, but he uses it quite a lot.
Nice.
I wished I knew more about it. I never was a very good cook on the green egg.
My thing about the big green egg is I find the sheer amount of weight and structure it has. It's got
Such a
tiny,
small
tiny
cooking area.
surface.
Yes.
So therefore, it's not very efficient for commercial use because I can't run a grill station with that. Also, if I'm just going to grill a small piece of meat, if I just want to do a steak, just to get that whole heavy structure up the thing is 15 pounds of charcoal. So I'm kind of splitting between, and everybody swears by its efficiency and all that jazz, but that's where I throw the argument and didn't buy one. And they're quite pricey too, right?
And they're certainly not portable.
They're not like, never.
Weber you can pick up and go to your buddy's house with and drink beer. You're not going to take the big green egg and throw it in the back of the pickup truck.
I've never had any bad experience with any Weber I've ever owned. They're incredible machines. All right, the apron came off, the mic is off. I don't think I get better out of this.
So, Chef, one more time, what's in the pan sauce with the cranberries, the beer reduction, the butter?
I fry my sausages in here. Pull the sausages out, which meaning my I had brown butter in there that was left over from sausage grease and brown butter. And then I added some demi-glace and a beer to this. And I added my cranberries. And I'm going to take my sausages and I'm going to return them into this pan to glaze them.
These are some next level bratwurst.
I haven't done anything that, it's a very, very simple recipe. But when you have an incredibly well-made sausage like this, because it takes a good understanding of butchery or charcuterie at least to be able to give to a great sausage. Sausage is like sourdough. Like either you have it or you don't.
Yeah, it's a skill, for sure.
It is an exceptional skill. And it's not very easy to acquire.
So our sausage comes from Benetti Meats here in Langley, and it's made by, these sausages, I think were made by Michael Benetti, who's a third generation sausage maker here in Langley.
Incredible.
Yeah, from an Italian family.
Yeah, what is he? 20-something years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Young guy, great.
Young one, too.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for this or what?
I'm so excited for this sausage party.
That's the best part. Yeah. Now, let's take our yam. Can I say yam puree or mashed yam? Sweet potato puree. And I will show you how luxurious this is.
Oh man, that looks so good. I love sweet potatoes.
I'm with you.
This should be the D&D show. Chef David and Chef D can battle it out.
Battle?
I'm not fighting anybody anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not losing to D over there.
No! If this video gets 5,000 likes, I will fight David on a battle.
And cut his hair. The loser gets a haircut. No, bro, that's not happening.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of culinary competitions. It's not fair to you.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of haircuts, so.
I'm bored, so I didn't know.
Dennis is bald and David can't cook, so
So.
everybody wins.
So, let me see. A little parsley into the gravy just to finish it off. Nice and
What did you add? Parsley in there?
just fresh herbs, whatever you have in the drawer. Parsley, green onion is great. Tarragon is great. You got rosemary, that's great.
So this same technique would work with any raw sausage, right?
Absolutely. Or any cooked sausage too. I like my hot dogs steamed and boiled rather than grilled. I think steaming a sausage is a noble thing to do.
What is that?
This is like a little
Panel?
cell.
You know, Chef, I do a lot of things right because I've just been trained to do it that way from Angie or other people, or I follow a recipe. But I like that you explained why you should do things a certain way.
Most cooks lack that. Because they
yeah.
not home cooks. I'm talking about professional cooks because they've been taught that way and they've been traumatizingly taught that way. So they just keep on doing the same thing without asking any questions. And most of the results are honestly very good. But once you've done all those things and you want to thrive in your trade, and if you want to take it to the next level, then you start paying attention. And then you adjust all this old chatter to new food science and you put the correlation. And you don't have to invent the wheel, you know. How is it?
Mm-hmm. That means good. Mm-hmm.
You know, Purée sausages are outstanding on their own. We eat them a lot at our house. We eat them grilled. We do pan-fried sausages. Their sausages are exceptional. But this maybe is like my best bratwurst ever. I know my way around the sausage.
I had to learn it.
Everything in this works together. The cranberries are sour. I can taste a little bit of the beer. It's just a note. It's not.
Yeah, it is. The cooking with beer is. It's not. It almost unless you're going like really dark and specialized, but it's not ideal thing to do. But hey, bratwurst, it's sausage. Yeah, we'll steam some. They have the beer around.
And the best part of this whole plate is it's all local. I mean, the sweet potatoes are local. The cranberries are from here in Langley. The sausage is made here in Langley. The beer is local. The goat cheese we had earlier. The veg.
Yeah,
I love that.
Here.
You can literally just drive to 248th Street and pick up all of the stuff you need at the co-op, Vinaigrette, cranberries naturally, BC Buzz honey. You come to Well Season, pick up your pomegranate molasses and some other bits and pieces at Milner Farm.
That's from Alice.
What?
Pomegranate molasses. Anyway, but how does the texture of the sausage? It's all of the juices in there.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is not granular. It's not exploded. It's not grainy.
It's not dry
It's
and
not.
overcooked.
Yeah.
I mean, the beer braise kept it nice and moist, I think. But it's also that it was cooked at a consistent temperature.
It is. We cook the meat first and then we apply the heat, so that you're not splitting that emulsification of the sausage that makes it grainy. So it just reversed the whole thing. Now that I would reverse here because it makes all sense. Because it serves a technique and it serves a really, really good purpose. Especially with blood sausages like boudins and whatnot, temperature becomes way more sensitive. But I'll give you this though: if you want to cook it perfectly, sausage is probably one of the hardest things to cook, especially in volume. It is just this. The only thing is, it is so forgiving that everybody can, even if they've done an okay job or a bad job, it still tastes great because it's got a lot of fat content to it.
Hey, don't get me wrong, there's bad sausage out there. You can buy a lot of really terribly made sausage.
Yeah. But if and they're not expensive, to be honest with you. I have no idea why, because it's a lot. It takes a lot of experience to be able to make it. It's not like, hey, we just cut all the steaks and let's take the rest and dump it in the grinder and just like flavor it and put it in the casing and sell it to them.
Yeah.
There is more to the process.
Have you had a hot dog? You haven't had a hot dog from Vinaigrette, have you? One of their wieners? So a couple years ago, Carlo Benetti went to Europe and he bought a new machine. It's an emulsifier to make wieners. So he puts all of his trim into the wiener the pork emulsifier for the wieners, or the beef emulsifier. And he makes the best hot dogs I've ever had. Next time I'm there, I'll pick some up for you.
Sure.
Because they're really killer. In the summertime, I love a grilled hot dog or an open fire hot dog. We eat them
in a sausage house in 91 Hastings. I've been in the neighborhood for the longest while. Johnston trucks just pull up to the back. They load up all their free-range pork. What a good pork is that? Yeah. And then their sausages are incredible, all homemade. It's and it's dirt cheap. And if you spend $30, you get free sausages.
Really?
Yeah, and all the ladies are cranky, they're Polish, they don't want to be there. They got shitty at it. I'm just not shitty at it. It's not safe to have it. Yeah, what do you want? I'm like, all right, I'll take this. Nobody's kissing your bum to sell you more stuff. But I'd love to try Bonetti's hot dogs.
Okay.
I guess them, but
Next time I'm there, I'll grab some for you. And if you're up in Eddie's, buy the barbecue hot dogs because they're really great. What are we going to cook next week, Chef? Next week is our last Thursday night before Christmas. It's our last Thursday this year. And maybe we should take requests.
sure.
So we don't have a format planned for next week. So all of our regulars who've been watching, Shelly, Gladys, Barb, Rick, all of you guys who've been watching consistently week after week, maybe you can send me a note, comment here, and let us know what you'd like to learn to make or what you'd like to talk about next week. And we'll put together a menu based on your feedback. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Or you can send me some random items and we can do a black box 2 courses 1 hour.
Ooh, that might be kind of fun too. I can put together a black box and
That's a fun idea.
that is a fun idea. Next week's gonna be kind of another hectic week here. Are you up for that?
Been there, done that.
So next week our turkey dinner delivery starts. So we're doing Christmas dinner. So dinner for 4 here, all the sides and everything that goes with it is $99. If you'd like your turkey with the full meal, it's an extra $25 for your turkey. So myself, Chef D, Chef Sarah, Chef Melissa, we're all cooking Christmas dinner. And our dinner this week, our gourmet to go takeout dinner is Hungarian Goulash. So yesterday, Chef Helena was here all day. She
She
made
put in some good work into it.
She made like 100 portions of Hungarian Goulash for tomorrow. We have 3 dinners left. It's delicious. There's 3 meals left, so if you pop onto our website, you can order your dinner. It's Chef Helena's Hungarian Goulash. Chef Deniz is making the salad. It's a cabbage and carrot salad.
Can't wait. Love that.
And our pastry chef Melissa has made a really delicious apple cake with a brown
Pretty
butter
good.
frosting
Pretty
and
good.
salted caramel.
I had a few slices.
It's good.
We eat well in this kitchen.
So there's 3 dinners left. So if you haven't ordered your food for the weekend, the Hungarian Goulash is served with spetzel, and it's a really, really generous portion. Lots of local beef from Vinaigrette, again, our butcher. So order your food tonight. Pop onto our website and order it. Check out our Christmas dinner to go. If you have suggestions for what you'd like Chef D to cook next week,
They're already coming in.
oh good, everybody's got some ideas. I'm
Be decent
excited.
though. I mean, be reasonable. Okay. Like lamb on a spit wouldn't work. Ice cream wouldn't work.
Oh, we'll see about that.
A lot of people are thinking appies.
Appies, okay.
Yeah.
For Christmas? That's kind of fun.
The stuff that I would do for you people. We'll see you next week, alright?
Next Thursday, right here, 5:30. Looking forward to it. Cheers,
Be there.
everybody.